I beat up deadbeat dads.
There's something.
And,
Yeah.
Why do you have such a rage against deadbeat dads though? Your dad's on this podcast all the time.
I don't know.
That's not a bad name. Deadbeat. Deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat. That's perfect.
Deadbeat.
YUNKJunk.
Hey everybody, welcome back to What Is This Podcast with Kolug, Zach, Terry. Once again, we don't have Zach, so it's going to be a great show. So we're going to get started with you. Let's start by checking in with the boys. Boys, how you doing?
I'm good.
Nipples marinara.
First you get some nipples, then you add a marinara. So, an update on nipples marinara.
Okay, good.
My premier client in my real job, in my business, I was there in kind of the office. I work with like a lot of marketing departments. So I'm in the marketing department, and the social guy from the marketing department just kind of rolls in with his chair, like real sly, kind of like this, and goes, "So I hear you like nipples, Tara," and just pimps away. My number one client that I have,
Nice.
the person I need to be the most professional in front of, bam, hit me with nipples marinara,
Yeah.
which means the cat's out of the bag. We have to make it. We have to make it. You guys, this is what it is. We've done so much together, but this will culminate in nipples marinara. So if anybody wants to start working on the beat.
I went through the YouTube page, I want to say yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was looking at the shorts, and I think one of the Vincent Arancini's was up to like something 1 point something K.
Vincent Arancini is our top performing short for this podcast.
Yeah.
Did it beat out my daddy issues one?
That one's pretty high too, actually. That one's pretty high. I can give you the real numbers, actually. Here, I'll look up the numbers. But
I think
so it's interesting. Keep talking.
what do you all right, first let me say what I think, and then I want to know how you think people click on one more than another.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when people see like a new face, like you look at the page and you see like all this like kind of the same faces, and then you see his face on the screen on the thumbnail, and so you're like, huh, that's different, and then they click it, and luckily they click it because it's funny, and people liked it. But what do you think it is? Like what makes people like click one more than the other? Is it shared?
So we know thumbnails are huge, and we know it's going to get brought to you if it's something that's interesting. So I think that one's tagged with Michael Jackson and beat it. So probably a bunch of people saw that. I mean, for us, I'll just give you a look behind the curtains for our analytics, like overall as a channel. We just started publishing the Michelle Mission, and this dwarfed any other thing in that it was two guys talking about the Cat Williams Shannon Sharp episode. Yeah. And that was the biggest thing for us that we've ever had on the thing, and it dwarfed it. So Cat Williams was in it. If you really want to start playing in the algorithm, think about what people are interested in and have your pitches be around that. That's a way to kind of play the game. But we gained like 50 subscribers or something on the Cat Williams short that we released on the channel.
Wait, so Cat Williams was in it, you said?
No, they were just talking about him.
So
because he was in the news. So it was getting pushed, that content was getting pushed more. Let's see, for us.
Maybe no matter what we talk about, we should just always tag it with Taylor Swift or just always Cat Williams.
No matter what I do, all I think about is you. Oh, who is that by?
You ever hear the
Ashanti?
Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams when Twitter was like fairly new?
Oh yeah. There was like a fake Dave Chappelle, and it was feuding with Cat Williams.
Dave Chappelle was thinking about making his own Twitter account, and he goes on, and apparently there already was one, and it obviously wasn't him. It was some guy just tweeting from his account. But he was like, the shit that fake Dave Chappelle was tweeting was hilarious. So like I was just getting away with it. I was getting free laughs, so I just didn't say anything. But then it got a little too far because fake Dave Chappelle was saying some things to Cat Williams, some mean things that real Dave Chappelle wouldn't say to Cat Williams in real life. And then real Dave Chappelle's feelings started to get hurt because Cat Williams started to say things to fake Dave Chappelle that hurt real Dave Chappelle's feelings. So they were going back and forth. So he was at a show and Cat Williams was there in a club, and he went up and wanted to just clear the air with Cat and let him know it wasn't his account and he wasn't saying these things. And Cat Williams goes, "What Twitter account?"
So it was two fake
Cat Williams and fake Dave Chappelle going at it.
Beefing. Twitter beef.
So I figured it out. The reason Vincent Arancini's views were higher, YouTube search term, arancini, as in like an arancini ball. So people were searching for recipes for arancini and came across Vincent Arancini, and that's how it happened.
What? Imagine like looking up.
This is why nipples marinara is going to work. People love nipples. People love marinara. Come on. Are you searching for a recipe, or are you searching for some hot dudes?
Or, a nipples marinara recipe. There's got to be at least one person who's typing that in to look for a recipe.
Yeah.
And then they'll, you're able to see how people come to us based on their searches.
Yeah, it says YouTube search terms, views in the last 28 days. 9% was arancini. Some people came to us with Ace Family. There's been some content suggesting us.
Interesting.
But so they watched it though.
Yeah, we're up. We're way up.
It wasn't really about arancinis. It was just about Vincent Arancini, and they still like, oh,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
interesting content.
Yeah, good for them that they clicked it because it ended up being funny for them.
Yeah, our audience is we have 31 returning viewers, 63 unique, added a subscriber. Everybody's in the United States who's watching. And they are dudes who are not subscribed. So all you unsubscribed dudes, go ahead and get yourselves circumscribed to our channel.
Ooh.
I think
like that.
It's subscribed.
Circ-subscribed.
Jerks come inside and get your circ-subscribed.
Circ-subscribed. I'm trying to make a dick joke because that's what the people want. You ever had, and by the way, we're sponsored by Heineken Zero. Heineken Zero. When you want a beer, but you don't want the alcohol.
I have had that.
It's good.
Yeah. It tastes just like Heineken.
It's better than a soda.
So you like the taste? I don't like it that much. I don't like it enough for me to drink that.
Oh, really?
Heineken's definitely my go-to.
You should try a Heineken Zero because it's shocking. The Guinness NA, I think it's called Guinness, might be Guinness Zero, is astoundingly good for like not having booze in it. It is wild.
That I get, but like just straight beer. I don't know. I think I'd want a Guinness 5%. I'd prefer that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really into the NA. If I'll just drink a seltzer or something else. If I don't want to drink, I prefer beer for the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I didn't want to say that, but
yeah,
I like to get drunk.
I love it.
Maybe
me too.
Maybe if that had some alcohol, maybe I would drink that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Could you mix it with like whiskey or something like that? Like,
you probably could.
Could be
You
a
probably
mixer.
could.
Or just
A
mix it with
mixer.
some beer. Like, can mix it with some Heineken.
Then it would be what, like 2.5%?
I had
Is that?
Half a Heineken.
yeah, I had these in the fridge. I just had to have my HVAC fixed, and because every once in a while I'll go on a non-drinking sprint for like a month or two, and they were there, so I decided to have them and imbibe. And this is the hot, tasty content that our fans come for.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
They come for it and they come to it.
Fucking got some NA beers in the fridge, you getting your HVAC worked on, and
Hey.
just, it's there. So we're here talking about.
Basically, I'm a divorced dad with a problem.
You got to get over
Trying his best.
one day at a time.
Just chasing that buzz, but it's a mental buzz. That fix, that taste in your mouth. Once it hits your lips, you're just chasing that, and you're just never gonna get it. Sorry, Terry.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, that's what this is about, and it's about exposing flaws and showing your true colors and showing what really matters. But that's enough of an introduction, I think, for this episode. Let's get into pitches. Who's up first?
I'll go first.
All righty.
Yeah, you go.
You said I'll go first, and then you took over to Luke's screen. How'd you do that?
Well, that's been happening.
Oh, sorry.
That's weird.
I'll fix it.
That just happened again.
Is it my connection or is it?
No. It's on speaker view.
Taking it to the street.
So, do you like my long mustache, facial hair?
Yeah, I'm kind of going with that right now. Last week's episode, I had the mustache and everything else was short. I like that look.
The reason I'm doing it is because last week, when I said I was on daughter duty, she ended up having roseola, which I had never heard of, but now I know about it. And it turns out...
Is that like a ravioli?
It's a raviola. It's just, my wife's making way too much. It's Italian-American. She loves to cook too much, and my daughter eats it, and she had way too much. So I was on daughter duty. Now, she had roseola, and apparently it's a strand of herpes. And as soon as I heard about that, I swear to God, it's like the herpes that it's probably in my body. I was like, what's up? What's up? Are we coming out?
You had a cold sore?
I have 2 cold sores right here, so I'm like trying to cover it up, even though I just showed my cold sores. It sucks. It sucks.
That's the fucking worst.
She had 105 fever.
Whoa.
I know. Nuts. She seemed fine.
Okay, so
we'll
cut that.
So that was the Herpes Minute with Luke Charbonneau.
I got herpes.
Herpes.
That's some hot tea. Okay, so my pitch, it would be called Recast.
Okay.
You pick some iconic characters from a movie or a TV show, and you try to recast it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This sounds very familiar to my pitch last week.
Wait.
Where we recast different movies. We did it with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, that is shockingly similar to my pitch last week.
You did that also with my apps idea. I give you a name, and you guys come up with what it's about. I'm serious. I'm starting to think you might have like early onset Alzheimer's.
My God, was that real? Was that real? You were trying to do a recast like
that? Was dead ass because I was thinking about Jim Carrey in The Mask. I was like, nobody else could ever fucking play that role. I was like, that would be a fun topic to try. And then I just took it further, and I just completely selfishly forgot about your pitch.
We did.
Glossed right over it.
Hey, it's a great game. I'm happy to do it. So, all right, Cole's pitch is, whatever you said last week. Let's do that one. That's my pitch. You're like one of the shitty writers at SNL who just like listens for someone else's pitch and then says it again next week.
Keeps it for himself.
Should we do it? I mean, you were kind of all in on it.
Well, it's good that I went first and got it out of the way.
Yeah.
No, let's go around because I have others that I haven't used.
All right.
So you said The Mask. Who would be a good person to play The Mask? So it would have to be at that time. Like, when was The Mask made? Anyone want to guess?
94. I think it's not. I know that The Mask and Dumb and Dumber came out the same year.
Was it those two movies? Yeah, where he got like $50 million or something like that. Okay, who would play that at that time in 96?
Well, there were a lot of big personalities in like the 80s, early 90s. Robin Williams could have done it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he could have done The Mask.
Yeah.
What about like, I don't know why the first person I thought of was like Martin Short.
Oh, yeah, he could do it too.
Yeah.
I'm the Mask. I have a small dog. The Mask. Get out of here, Steve. Remember that movie Clifford he was in, where he plays like a little boy?
No.
That movie's insane.
Wasn't it like mockumentary style?
No, it was a standard movie, but he had to be shaved every day so that he could appear as like, a prepubescent boy. He was playing literally an 11-year-old. I mean, it's crazy to watch. And he's just like this devil child, of course, right? But he tells a story, I'll tell it here, where he had to be shaved every day. And one day he's sitting in the makeup chair as they're shaving him, and he looks down, and one of his balls is just out, like hanging out the side of his shorts. And there's like, the lady is down there doing it. And he goes like, Rosie, did you notice anything different today? He's like, oh, yeah. I saw one of your balls popped out, but I just tucked it right back in. So don't worry about it, Mr. Short. I got you. And just went right back about it.
Wow. That's a dedicated worker right there. Do you do that for your clients?
Yeah. I mean, that's most of what I do.
Yeah, ball tucking.
Ball massage.
Oh, you massage it too?
Yeah, ball massage.
When was that? Like the 80s or something? Like how can you? 70s?
I think it was early 90s. Let me see.
I've seen clips. I've seen images too. I've seen him talk about it, but no, I've never come across it. You know what I was looking up last night was the Ben Stiller show.
94.
Won an Emmy.
94. Yeah, I actually, how do you find that? Where is it?
Oh, you can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on Apple TV Plus, but it's like $2 and you can get the whole season. So
was that on like HBO or?
It was on Fox. I looked it up last night.
Fox.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I haven't seen it. No.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
The Ben Stiller show.
Ben Stiller show?
Yeah. There's a couple of episodes that are really, really good. Do you remember? I think that's where Andy Dick came from too. Yep.
Andy Dick. What's his name? Better Call Saul and Mr. Show.
Bob Odenkirk.
Well, they were on SNL before that. So they met because Stiller was on SNL for like one season before that show.
One season.
So it's kind of like another version of the Dana Carvey show where he brought in a lot of that
and just one off got canceled, but it was successful.
It was good if you look back at it.
No, the Dana Carvey show wasn't successful. They were a fucking ratings disaster and
going against the establishment.
Yeah. Did you watch that documentary?
Yeah. God.
So the guy that directed that documentary grew up in our neighborhood, Luke.
What?
Yes. Is that the same?
he did the movie Strays that just came out with Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx that play the dogs.
Is that the guy that Dad did His Father's Roof?
Dad coached him when he played soccer when he was a kid.
And he's a very successful, what's his last name? Like Rosenberg or something?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Rosenbaum.
Rosenbaum. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Michael Rosenbaum, he played Lex Luthor on Smallville.
Yeah, it's totally him.
It's the director, different guy.
Yeah, no. The guy in Smallville played on my dad's soccer team. Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he shaved his head.
All right. No, it was actually Martin Short. Cole, what were you about to say? What's the next movie?
No, I meant when I said
next
let's go
pitch.
around earlier.
He was going to do a different pitch. You just went with the story.
Yeah. So an old pitch from an old podcast. Let's hear it. Let's see if it's. Let's see if Cole's stealing another pitch.
No. I meant let's go around.
He needs time to think of another one.
He needs time. Yeah, I need to stall.
He needs time. All right. I'll pitch. I love superheroes. So I wanted to do one where, first of all, the 4 people on the podcast, if they could be a superhero, who would they be? And obviously we tell them who they are. They don't say who they are. And also casting superhero movies, but obscure ones. So between the two of those, so who would Luke be if he was a superhero? And they can be real or fictional.
Huh.
Are you guys going to do it, or can I do it with you?
You can do it with us.
Come up with. What about trying to think of canon from this podcast, things we've talked about. Obviously the daddy thing.
Oh, there you go. That helps.
So just, is my superhero dad or daddy man?
Daddy issues.
Well, that's what the comic series is called, Daddy Issues, because it's issues of a comic book.
Well, that would be like perfect. Tony Stark, but you're not really a tech guy.
I beat up deadbeat dads.
There's something.
Yeah.
Why do you have such a rage against deadbeat dads though? Your dad's on this podcast all the time.
I don't know. So the superhero or me personally?
The superhero. That's not a bad name. Deadbeat. Deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat. That's perfect.
Because he beats them till they're dead.
You could sense anytime someone's not paying their rent, but they have it. You can
they're good for it.
You envision their bank account and like, why aren't you fucking paying your rent? You got it. You're just being a dick. You just like confront the guy, just knock on his door, like, hey, man.
I don't even beat them up. I just like back them into a corner.
I like that it's rent instead of child support. It's like, hey, I already know you're a deadbeat dad, but what? You're not going to pay your rent? Mr. Hey, Feingold is a great landlord, and you're just stiffing him for no reason. I know it's in there.
What's up?
All right, now I'm going to kick your ass for being a bad dad. But seriously, man, pay your rent.
It's not that hard, right?
Let me help you find a job, dude. Just like I become friends with him. I beat him up, and then I become friends with him, and I mentor.
That's why you're a superhero. You're not an anti-hero.
I'm a superhero, and I become their like sponsor.
Yeah, you make their life better.
That's something you could actually do.
Me personally, or the superhero?
You personally, like any of us could actually go shake people down for child support.
Yeah, and I'd be called deadbeat. And my lair is a man cave. I just sit there.
I don't know why, but I feel like Cole could pull off one of like the sock masks that Gambit wore. You know what I'm saying? Where just the hair was out, but then it was like covered here and here, but his face was there. I just can really
but-
picture Cole as Gambit.
And his beard is out. His beard is showing through the mask.
Popping out.
Yeah.
It's a full mask, and the beard is out. Okay. So Gambit, what does Gambit do?
Gambit's with the cards.
Yeah, he's got like pyrokinetic abilities, so he can charge things and then throw them and they explode. But really, it's not necessarily Gambit. I could just see Cole walking around in a sock mask with a stick. You just have the face for it because you got a long face. It would fit a sock very well.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's just like that, right?
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
his hair is-
and then his hair
okay.
poofs out through the top.
yeah.
Okay. And what does he do? What does he throw? Something? He doesn't throw cards, but he has to throw something.
Old CDs.
Yeah.
Or just, you know, it'd be great if it just cassette tapes. And when you threw them, you had to say the name of the tape. Like Ace of Base.
And then like
Ace of Base.
I saw the sign.
this was
Alanis
produced by-
Morissette.
this was saved like fun facts about about the actual album. Like this was produced by Jermaine Dupri in 1993. And
But
on this song, he sampled Sade. Smooth
But
Criminal.
he doesn't lose the tapes. He holds on to the tape that's like, wound up. And it's kind of like a yo-yo. That's his,
Like he could swing from the cassette tapes.
So now at this point, the mask has nothing to do with like.
No, that's just the costume.
You
It
just
could be headphones.
yeah, you're the cassette tape kid.
And you just at this we
Hey,
we have.
All right, so then, well, my name would be Walkman.
Oh, yeah. That's so good. It's so good.
Millennium. I have so many Will Smith tapes. Millennium.
Take them. I don't want them.
Each genre of tape like has a different effect, does a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, like a rock tape turns into a stone,
Yes.
Yep.
and a rap tape wraps you up. Like you get wrapped up in the tape.
That's a wrap. Don't get him wound up.
Smooth jazz puts you to sleep.
Oh shit!
It
You're on
does-
a roll.
What
Hits in the head.
would country do? I can't think of what country would do.
And make you racist.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay away from it, but yeah.
Make you racist, and it gets you arrested. Or
So you're
gets you,
walking down the street, you hit him with one of those tapes, and then you say something racist, and someone comes after you. It's like, hey, that guy's
So you
being
get a ticket.
racist. No, I'm
for a
not.
hate crime.
Damn you, Toby Keith.
Walkman, that's a good one.
I like that one. Walkman
If I
and
could draw, I would
Deadbeat
definitely
Dad.
Whip that up. If I could draw, I'd definitely whip that one up. But I can't.
Have AI do it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
We should try to do all these superheroes then.
I like it. That was more fun. I like the idea of building a superhero around a person. So I'm amending my pitch to have it be, we come on and we all figure out a superhero for each of us to be. That would be what my pitch is. And you call it superhero pitch.
But then at some point we have to come together and kind of like the Avengers.
Oh, wait. We need a bad guy. One of us needs to be the bad guy each time. So since Zach's not here, let's make him the bad guy. What would he be?
Sure.
The Scat Man, because he shits a lot.
Nice. We'll workshop it. Let's keep going.
Okay, well, not great. Okay, cut that.
Bus boy.
We'll edit that.
Bus boy, because he's
Oh,
working at
yeah.
restaurants. The evil and all he does is not give us water. Or like he never gives anyone bread. And you have to ask him like 3 times for bread.
Like, where is this guy?
I could see him. I could see him in the window of the kitchen. He's just glaring at me like this.
And he's just like, wah, whatever his evil, stupid laugh.
He has a mustache for no reason.
Wah, see?
But
You'll never get your bread here.
I'm the bus boy.
And okay, so immediately when you said that, I knew you were talking about like a bus boy at a restaurant, but I also thought about like a bus, the vehicle.
Yeah.
So maybe we incorporate, maybe he like just runs people over in restaurants driving a bus.
Well, he can turn invisible because he's invisible for like 75% of our last 4 podcasts.
True.
That's perfect.
So he turns invisible, and that's why we can't find the bus boy. He's not delivering our bread. And then there's something about him being invisible turning into a truck, and he just leaves.
He's like a transformer.
Turns into a bus, and he just leaves.
And he always like, whenever he commits a crime, he leaves a script
on someone's desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that he turns invisible and then turns into a bus. Like it's completely unnecessary. He's already invisible, so he can just walk away if he wants to.
And you just hear,
Like, what? We can hear you.
where the fuck is the bread?
Yeah, you didn't bring our bread, and now you're leaving. Why are you a bus? Because I'm the bus boy.
The most useless transformer.
That's what the bus boy does. See?
While I'm thinking of this, all I'm thinking of is like another superhero just called Bread Boy. And he's just like got twin baguettes that he just like beats you down with. And then he's just dressed like a chef.
Nunchuck baguettes.
Do chefs still wear long white hats?
Yeah.
Where?
At the restaurants that I go to. I don't know about you, man.
It's definitely a chef thing. Yeah.
Isn't it a French thing?
I don't know.
Are you guys French?
I don't know if it's. Yeah. Well, French Canadian. So.
You can't tell by like the mustache. Someone told me I looked really French with my overgrown mustache.
Did I ever tell you guys?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys like my family history when it comes to like France?
No.
Cole,
I'm sure Cole will tell it later in the next podcast.
Yeah.
I'll repurpose it into my own story.
So all growing up, we always knew that my nana, which was, in Philadelphia, people have nanas. We always knew that she was French, and, she was from a long line of like successful people and whatnot that traced back to, French like royalty or aristocracy. And so, we would always walk around kind of just knowing that in the back of our minds that, Jean was actually how you say, the famous French person. So finally, someone does a 23andMe, and we're right. We are from French aristocracy, but
what?
Originally, it was like, well, Nana's the descendant of a princess or like a duke's wife or something like that. Turns out that Nana's Nana was Napoleon's favorite prostitute.
I was gonna say prostitute in a French accent, but I was like, I don't want to offend her.
It was different back in the day. Like she was like a courtesan, like in the inner circle, but very much Napoleon's favorite hooker and
lady of the night.
And Napoleon's wife killed her. Had her killed.
Wow.
So that is the story of our. And when we all found this out, it was just kind of like, oh my God, I have been walking around like I am somebody important for so long, and I am just the descendant of some hoe.
That's
nuts?
very beer fest.
Not just some hoe.
Oh, I forgot about. That's right, Napoleon's favorite hoe.
Yeah, Nana was. She was a prostitute, just like in beer fest. Is that
Mark is a whore?
That is a TV series, first of all. like just like Victorian style.
My prostitute great grandma.
She's got like children. There's like you feel for her.
Hey, man, like, yeah, I'm one of those descendants of those children.
You really do give off French prostitute vibes.
Yeah.
I've always said that. I would aspire to be like a noble woman. And isn't that weird to think about? That like noblemen and people in the inner circle were really just pimps and hoes. Like you were just fancy, or like you were just born into. But so many of these people were just like syphilis carrying dirtbags.
I know, back in the day. God, how the fuck did they survive?
They didn't.
What was the average? Yeah.
Average what? Average age of death?
Yeah, at that time.
All right,
I was just talking about that with my wife. I was like,
40.
I'm so happy I live now. I wouldn't want to live in any other. Like, I love my phone. I love my PS5. Like, if I wanted to live in any era, I wish I lived like 40 years in the future, so that I can have an AI robot, sex robot or something.
I think the 90s were pretty fucking sweet. I would like to be my age now in the 90s.
You ready for this? So this is after that time. This is the 1700s. 37.
Oh my God.
I'd be in my final year. I would likely be dying next year. And I've lived a nice life. So you imagine that? I would be at the end of my life now. And I feel like I'm at the beginning. Yeah. I still feel like technically I'm in my second part. Part 2 is after you're 35. Once you leave 18 to 35, you are in a new thing. But I still don't feel middle-aged or anything like that yet.
No, I don't either. I read you're 27 until you're 34. I read a tweet, and I believe that. Like I'm
you're definitely 21 until you're 25.
Yep.
Similar.
But I mean, I got to be honest, guys. I have pulled some 21-year-old Terry moves like this year. Like, I think it's I can be all sorts of different ages on any day of the week. I can be twice my age. I can be half my age. I can be literally a small infant boy.
Wink's bachelor party. We were like 18-year-olds running around.
That was so fun.
Having a fun.
Yeah, you were like. You were playing with. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about. You were 18 years old, so you were seniors in high school.
Yep. I was playing lacrosse. Still, like,
we were going to school. We went to school,
and
so much school.
It was crazy, and I was 80 pounds lighter.
Just for that.
Just for that day. Yeah,
that must have been nice, man.
Yeah, I did a water fast.
And how did you get all of that school on the plane? I wonder.
We had a couple of backpacks, and it sucked. We got killed on baggage, but we had to get our assignments done because it was 18-year-old us. So
it's school.
We had to do actual textbooks because nothing was online yet.
I skipped a couple classes. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was a bachelor party, like
classic 18-year-old Cole.
Yep. Just
that all that school just
finest
kept you up at night, I'm sure.
I mean, it's wild. I am twice that age. Like 18 plus 18. Wow. I don't really remember much of this. I don't remember much. I remember high school, but I'm kind of a blur from then to now. Now, I spent a lot of time drinking, so that could be the blur.
Were you the type that you were like, you hated it? You hated high school? You just wanted to get the fuck out of there? And as soon as you got the opportunity, you like just booked it?
Yeah, I didn't like the town that we grew up in. I was very bored. So I wanted to go to like a big, huge party school where like nobody else was, so I could just kind of like restart and go again. And I kind of followed that the rest of my life. I just like going somewhere. I don't know. I like going and trying in a new area in a new place and yeah. So I wanted to get the hell out of there. And also it was just like, I don't know where your cousin and I grew up. I don't think it was as fun as where you guys grew up. Like we had way less to do. We were just sitting in the woods, you know?
It was like, it was very similar. It was very similar. You couldn't go downtown, and that's what like Saratoga is like really known for. You can go to like restaurants or whatever, but Cole and I, we actually just stayed home. We had everything that we needed. We were friends, and we had all of our friends around us. So we just stayed in our basement and just like played video games and made music.
Played a lot of ping pong, and like all of our friends had ping pong tables.
Yeah, that was pretty serious for us.
Yeah, then it was the same for us because you remember I had Zach next door, Micah past that, and then Wink for a little bit, and then he moved on. But we just kept hanging out in Micah's garage. Like at one point it was like garage sale weekend, and we just found a couch and put it in Micah's garage, and that's where we hung out for the next like 4 years.
Yeah, we hung out in John's garage a lot. We hung out in Steve's basement. We hung out in our basement.
That's a great name for a podcast, Steve's Basement.
Yeah, Steve's basement was awesome. It had a pool table. It had a ping pong table. We
Xbox,
played every new album, hip hop album. We would play those on repeat. And yeah, we play Halo just for hours.
Yeah.
Go down there. No drugs, nothing. Like no drinking. Mm-hmm. We drank on the weekends.
We had some parties there too, though.
Yeah, we did.
Some fucking bangers.
Yeah, I never was one to drink during the school week, even in college. Like it was not my move. But on the weekends, we would go nuts.
I just didn't have the money for it. Just save up everything that you had for. I remember I played on the soccer team at Purchase, and if you went on an away game, they'd give you $7 for per diem, and we'd put that together and buy a 30 rack of PBR. And all 30 beers in a backpack. Our school was like a summer camp. It was just kids.
Called it like it was like the Biodome. You know, it was.
Yeah.
Our campus was surrounded by one circle of a street.
Really.
And woods.
Yeah,
like we were like tucked away. It really was like
enclosed in this weird island of just like artists, crazy.
It was like
party people, artists.
Pre-Brooklyn. That's what it was. It was like
it was very Bushwick, Lower East Side.
So the big parties. It wasn't like frat house parties. The fun parties that we like to go to were jazz parties, where a band would play in their apartment and just everyone would go.
I went to one of those once. And it was so fun. You just go in, there's a band, and you just sit on the floor. And I've done that where it's only like 3 people just in there on the floor drinking while there's just this band going nuts all night. God, that was fun.
God, we had like the best jazz musician kids in like the Northeast and maybe even like America. And it was just so good. Such great entertainment and every genre.
Everywhere we went really in college, like we were so fucking lucky. Like it was unreal. Everywhere you go, like even if it wasn't parties at apartments, there was an event every night. You know, in different, either if it was in different conservatories or we had this place called the Stude. It was like the Student Center. It was this like big barn building that was fucking huge. And there were like 2 different concert rooms.
Just talented artists putting on an event in the Stude.
Performances, art shows or like, you know, at like theater shows even, you know, out in the open. It's fucking crazy. It was great.
The amount of inspiration I got from that, like you go to one of those and then that's why I wish I did that more in the city, like go to more events, go out of my way. And then it makes you want to go back and be like, well, I can do my thing. Watch what I can do.
But
yeah, that's That you can edit all of that out. That had nothing to do with the pitch. I don't even know what pitch we're on right now.
I'm the only one who's pitched, and Cole recycled a pitch.
Yeah.
And the pitch is.
So we're French, right? We did Ancestry.com.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What
we
happened?
actually we still think
we just found out that I'm a whore.
yeah.
I was like, how the fuck? How did you do that?
You went through all the questions and everything. You sent your DNA in and just came back.
Well, here's the thing. It was the wrong 23andMe. Cole just like sent DNA samples to the 23 girls that he slept with, and they all agreed. Oh yeah, I hooked up with him. He's a hoe.
He's a faux show.
Because it's 23andMe, the 23 chicks and me.
That's a movie.
I'm sorry, guys.
TV show or a movie?
Go to the bathroom again. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
That sounds like a comedy bit.
Okay.
Maybe it's not real.
I promise you it's not. I actually have to go, and my daughter is taking a bath right now, so I'm going to wait. I had to run back and make sure you knew that's not a bit.
Well, here, go. It's not a bit.
I have to wait.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You can go ahead and do a quick pitch. We can do. We can wrap up early.
Okay, so my pitch is I want to know how many of you guys have gone to summer camp or any camp.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want to make this a camp podcast. I'm trying to come up with a camp name, like Camp Cucamonga or something like that, but it has to do with what our name is. So basically, it's like we all gather around the pod fire and we tell stories. But this episode, my idea is we all tell our favorite stories from a camp that we went to. Like the best story that you can think of, the first thing that comes to your mind.
Is this is it real?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you have to have.
Well, no, I mean, I went to summer camp with Cole and Wink. Like that was we did overnight camp together. That's one of my favorite memories ever. With those trips,
Northern Frontier.
I remember.
I forgot that you went with them. You guys were young, weren't you?
Well, Terry went first, right? You went first. And
No. Wink and I went together, I think, first. And then did you come the next year?
I went 2 years. So yeah, I must have gone the next year.
No, I think I went 2 years too. I don't remember ever going without you guys.
I went.
I'm pretty sure we found out through our neighbor, the Yettons, Cole. I think they went the year before us and they told us about it, and then we went with them the next year. Or no, you guys went, and then I didn't go because I was too young. I was in second grade.
Yeah.
And then I went when I was in third grade. And I didn't, Terry, you weren't there, so that I must have missed, or maybe you were there, but I just don't remember.
I do remember when you went, Luke, because you were in a separate area from us because we were in the older part of the camp and you were in the younger one. But the three of us definitely, I feel like did 2 years together.
I vaguely remember little things about Northern Frontier.
I remember doing a rap in the water with you guys, singing a rap song while we were all in a creek.
Was it nipples? Was it nipples marinara? It's okay, Cole. If you don't remember that.
It was. No. Okay, I distinctly remember, and this is me as a child. I distinctly remember you had to walk across this long area that didn't have any trees and was just dirt. And in my imagination, it's like this giant desert that you went through. But at the other side was a cabin that had a wood shop in it. But I remember it just being so far away in my mind. I remember
it was a lot of walking.
I mean, it was a lot of land, I feel like, right?
I remember the last year I went, we did a huge manhunt for like, I want to say it was like a whole day and night. It was like the last day of the week that we did. And it was raining and I had a fucking poncho on and I was out by myself in the middle of the woods, like hiding, like it was some real shit. And I like can't believe that they actually let us do that.
I don't remember that.
I see. I think I went one extra year. Like, I think you went 1 year before me. Yeah, you and Wink went 1 year before
I think that's right. I think you and I think the three of us went 1 year together.
We overlapped. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I distinctly remember this kid was crying and just say, oh, I need this. And then all of a sudden you just hear, ah! And then the light turns on and the kid is like on the ground and you see Wink just like pulling his covers back up. So like he was being loud. So Wink just went over to his cabin and just beat him up real quick, like in a weird way. But it was like a cartoon because it was just. And then you just see him like. I distinctly remember, and I remember playing knock hockey. You remember knock hockey?
Oh yeah,
that was great.
See, this is why I chose this because
this is awesome, Luke.
Yeah, you're gonna.
That's a core memory. You just brought that out. I totally
knock
had
hockey
that one tucked way back.
Yeah, because you had the little sticks. Yeah, because it
was like a tabletop game, and everybody had little sticks, and we were. It was the most important thing of the week.
We did it in like the dining hall, right?
Well, no, that was where you had like actual hockey, like running around with the hockey sticks. And you remember that we had a tournament. We had a tournament, and whoever won the tournament, I'll never forget this. It's like all right,
some type of food.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was like, all right, you win the tournament, which means. Now you got to face off against the crew, and the kitchen crew came out. A bunch of like teenager kitchen crew guys came out, and you had to play against them, and they beat our asses, like physically beat us up, and we loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love camp, dude. Oh man, I can't believe we did that together too.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. Like, yeah, I didn't even think that when I thought the idea that you went. I was actually gonna like try to explain to you the camp that we went to. Which did we say what it was? Basically, it's summer camp. Mm-hmm. It's in the Adirondacks. You do all the summer camp things except one big thing. Do you guys remember?
The thing you didn't do?
No, the thing about Northern Frontier.
Well, yeah, it was a Christian boys camp.
It was a straight up Bible camp.
It was.
Yeah,
we used to have to like pray and shit.
Yeah, we had we would sing songs and there was like we went to church on Sunday, but it was like outside. And I remember that. I remember the pastor. Man, talk about core memories. That's the name of a podcast, Core Memories. And we just, because we could all do that every week, the four of us for sure. Yeah. That should be a segment, just core memories. But I remember the pastor always showed up on a rowboat, like on a canoe. He would come up to where we were all at and get out and then tell the speech in front of the fire and then row back off into the night. It was bizarre. My sister actually ran the entire Camp Carith that was up there. That was like the same thing, but for girls. And she ran the entire thing for years. She ran it.
When you said ran, I immediately thought like she ran around the camp.
No, she was the camp director.
Wow, that's nuts.
Like top of the heap.
Was that a Bible camp as well?
Yeah. Now it's, it's funny. I was in a Catholic girls' school today for no reason. But but no, we were talking about like now all of these like faith-oriented places, now it's any faith can come. Like it doesn't matter anymore. They'll still do the same thing and talk the same way, but you're not allowed to come. Like
yeah.
Like I don't know if we could go to a Jewish camp or if Jewish kids could come to our camp back then.
There were Jewish kids at Northern Frontier too.
I had no idea I don't remember. I remember.
I remember one kid who knew everything there was to know about baseball, and he was definitely, as I think back, he was definitely Jewish and from like New York City.
Yeah, it was a lot of city kids that would come up.
You know what? Let's go back. Let's do a podcast from there.
I want to go. I want to drive there. I want to see it. I have like dreams where I'm there. Like I'm at that like waterfront. I want to go back and see it again. If it's still even up and running, I'm sure.
Good question. Now, all the camps took a huge hit when COVID happened.
Sure.
So a lot of them went under.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me Google it.
Well, since we're all gathered around the pod fire, I would like to sing a campfire song about our podcast.
Oh, yeah. It still exists.
Northern Frontier?
Yeah. We do what we do because boys will be men. God, we would have been. I can't believe all of us threw away all the tenets of what this camp was about in our teenage years. We were good kids. You realize that? We were actually legitimately good children.
Yeah, I remember you would have to we would read the Bible before we went to bed.
Yeah.
We'd say a prayer. Like we'd have to, like, it's all camp stuff, and then just sprinkle in, okay, don't forget, we got to like pray.
Dude, I got in trouble. Yeah. The counselor yelled at me because I was singing Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And I remember he goes, do you even know what that song's about? It's about drinking. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know what a whiskey drink was.
Yeah.
Or a vodka drink or a lager drink or a cider drink.
I love that album when it came out.
That song. Remember we bought the album. I remember it was a strange album. Maybe I should go back and listen to it. But that song was...
Dude, the off-season address is in Yardley, PA. That's down the street from where my sister lives. Now I'm going to talk to him.
You should go.
Yardley.
Do you want to hear the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got to go.
All right. I'm trying to remember the beginning of it. All right. Actually, keep talking. Let me remember it. It's
stand in the place where you live. It's the best thing about emotion. Wonder what's inside of our stand.
I got a memory from a different camp.
Okay. Core memory.
Counselors one summer at Double H Hole in the Woods.
You've been there?
Yeah.
We were counselors there one summer.
What? Dude, I used to work. I used to do so much video content there.
Really?
For like 5 years. I loved it.
It's a really nice camp.
It's amazing.
So the year that we were counselors,
fuck my song. Fuck my song, by the way.
We only did what, 2 weeks? Or even 1 week?
I can't believe you were a counselor at Double H. Dude, that is so cool.
I think we did 2 weeks.
Yeah, we did 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm sick.
And we just volunteered. We didn't get paid so that we could put it on like our
No,
college.
It was Dad did a roof there, and he said, "I don't want you to pay me. I want you to let me and my sons." So he volunteered us to go be counselors.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we were very reluctant.
Yeah, of course.
What year was it?
This was 06, 05, 04, around there.
04. I was in 9th grade.
I remember MF Doom and Mad Villain came out like that week or that month.
I remember that week Tracy McGrady got traded to the Rockets. So if you want to look that up, that's exactly when it was.
Yeah. Anyway, do you remember what I had to do the first day?
Yeah.
So it's all immunocompromised children.
Yep.
That go to that camp, and they have to test you for every fucking disease under the sun. So we all get tested on the first day, and I had to quarantine for 24 hours because I had like a reaction to their tuberculosis test on me.
The first day, Cole had to stay in. We
I had
didn't
to stay
want
in
to
a
be there.
cabin by myself for 24 hours.
Because they gave
With
you
no internet.
tuberculosis?
No entertainment, nothing, dude. I didn't bring a fucking book. I was just in jail for 24 hours.
I think we had the Little Brother album.
What I had was dad brought his laptop and he had GarageBand on there. And I just fucking made beats on GarageBand the whole time. And I like did sit-ups and push-ups and like it was like fucking jail. And yeah, of course I didn't have tuberculosis. So then I was fine the next day. But it was something about like a reaction on my skin from like the needle.
Yeah, it popped up. So if it bubbles up, that means you have tuberculosis. And yours is like halfway puffed up. So they're like, you might have tuberculosis. So like the first day of this place that we didn't want to go to, you had to sit in the cabin while like Dad and I were like initiated with our
of course I missed
kids.
The whole initiation, the whole like getting to know everyone, introductions and everything. Then this random guy the second day comes in.
So from my perspective of that, so we were assigned different groups of kids, and they were named after a certain animal. And Cole got like the 10-year-old boys, and my dad got like
older.
like the 14-year-old boys. Like we barely even saw each other because we had to be with our groups. And they go, and Luke, you are set up with the deer cabin. And I was like, all right. So I show up and I walk in the door, and it's 6-year-old girls, or like 6 to 8 years old. Did Terry freeze? Oh,
no, I'm here. I'm just looking at something.
And it was like straight out of a movie. Seriously, like I loved my time there, but like it was so straight out of a movie. 14-year-old kid. Like I didn't want to hang around a bunch of little girls. Like I didn't know how to like relate to them. And I was like, I remember the first day we all had to walk in the line to the dining hall, and the counselor goes, "Hey dear," and then the other counselors, like they all knew, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And they go, "Hey what?" And she goes, "Hey dear." They go, "Hey what?" And she goes, back it up. And like we had to do like this dance, and it was in front of everyone. This is the first day, and I was like, I hate my life. Like, this is so embarrassing. I was a 14-year-old, just embarrassed and nervous and anxious. And so that was day one. By like day 13, I was like carrying them. I was doing the dance, like back, like just so like I loved those girls so much. And like they ended up like at first they didn't love me, but towards the end, like I was reading them stories to like put them to bed. Like that's how much we bonded by the end of it. Straight out of a movie. Yeah. And I'm like so grateful for that. I'll never forget that.
And now you got your own little baby girl.
And I still don't know how to relate to her. I just, avoid her, and I pretend I have tuberculosis.
Try to give you an alley-oop there.
Damn, dude. I was just looking at all those Double H videos that I did like 7 years ago. That's crazy. Yeah. Man, that was a special place. There. Camp's a special place. We should go. Let's do that. Let's go.
I would love it.
Let's go camping.
Or even like be counselors at that camp. I would feel good about doing that.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Like volunteer counselors. They were counselors and then there were volunteers.
I'll volunteer.
We could camp and do a podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Let's actually do it. We'll do like a firelit podcast chat, and we can get into it.
That'd be sweet.
And then I could do my campfire song.
I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Honestly, dudes, let's put that together. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
But that's going to do it, folks, for this week's What Is This Podcast, where we had recycled pitches, new pitches, and then we talked a lot about camp. Nana's a whore.
That was Nana's a whore.
That was good. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
It's the camp episode.
Camp episode. That was fun, guys. Bye. Love you.
YUNKJunk.